This is the briefing for Monday, June 8th. Well, as I anticipated from Friday's briefing, we did get a pause today in today's trading. The scenarios were the potential to look for a lower low below Friday's, but on diverging internals, which would then suggest that we're going to see some type of move up, or that we're going to see some type of pause right from the start. And that's what we got. I would really suggest that this is a pause that we saw in today's trading and not anything impulsive to the upside. Same thing with the Qs and same thing with the Russell. Now, what's going to be important is looking forward to what's going to happen potentially in tomorrow's trading. Now that we've analyzed this, we know that it was on extremely low volume. As you can see right through here, volume was extremely low in the spiders. Same thing with the Qs for today's trading, and the same thing for the IWM. Breadth in the S&P 500 was negative or continued to fall. Breadth in the NASDAQ improved at the open, but then started to fall off. And the same thing with the Russell breadth; it started to fall off too. So today's move was really not that strong in terms of price and or the market internals. But in looking forward to tomorrow's trading, now I see the potential for one of two scenarios that could play out. This was a very impulsive move, and we know that in impulsive moves that markets run and pause in all degrees of time. So this is a 60-minute chart of the spiders, the Qs, and the IWM. So what I would anticipate in tomorrow's trading is that we're going to see the possibility that this move is complete. And if today's low is taken out in each of the indices, that's going to suggest that that Friday's low will get taken out, and potentially we'll need to look for some type of a bottom, potentially from a longer-term chart. And I'll get to the daily charts in just a minute. So the second scenario, let me just say one more thing. The first scenario, in terms of taking out today's low and then taking out Friday's low, if and when that occurs, then watch for a divergence in market breadth, because that would then suggest that the move down is strengthening, and we're going to see some type of a counter trend rotation that's greater in degree of time and price. So watch what happens if today's low is taken out. Watch what happens with market breadth in particular to determine whether you're going to see some type of a stopping point. On the contrary, if market breadth is not diverging, and if it is stronger than it was in today's trading, stronger to the downside, I should say, then that's going to suggest that we're going to see a continuation of the move lower, and we'll just have to look for some type of stopping point or potential support level from the daily charts that I'll get to just in a second. Now, the alternate scenario is going to be that this is a counter trend rotation to this move here, but it is not complete, and that it's developing into a three-step counter trend rotation where it is common for legs 1 to be equal to legs 3. So if this is leg 1 in the spiders and this is leg 2 in the spiders, there is equality between legs 1 and 3. So leg 1 happens to be about 9.81 points. So this leg here is from Friday's low to the high of today is about 9.81 points. If you take this low, assuming this is complete here, that would then suggest you add 9.81 points to that number, and that's going to project the potential for this three-step counter trend rotation with equality between legs 1 and 3 to reach the 748 level. In the Qs, the same thing is possible, but it's 18.71 points. That would project from this low, that would project right up to this area here where you can see this low comes into effect. And that would then suggest the potential for some type of move to the downside. Now, if these upper resistance levels that I'm discussing are tested, then what you want to watch for approaching these levels is the beginning of weakening in the market internals. That would then suggest the potential for some type of turn back to the downside, which would eventually take out Friday's low. If these levels are traded through, and then you see the market internals continuing to strengthen, then that would then suggest that this is a move that is done, and we're going back to test the all-time highs. Watch these levels right here: 753 in the spiders, about the 732, 733 area in the Qs, and then watch the 286 area in the IWM. Now, this is a different pattern. This is a rotational pattern that it was in. The three-step counter trend rotation would project trading up to the 290 area. I really would be surprised if the IWM, if we're going lower, if the IWM makes it up that far, representing the Russell. You can see market breadth declining in today's trading, market breadth declining, market breadth declining. Now, looking at the longer term charts, so this would be the next level of support in the spiders, would be 728, the 728 area. In terms of the Qs, you can see that the next level of support is going to be right around the 695 area down to about the 687 area. Now, the NASDAQ, going back to the daily chart or the hourly chart, NASDAQ is showing more strength than the other indices, but it showed more weakness on Friday. So watch this area right up through here, the 732 area in the spiders to the upside. To the downside, watch this area between the 695 area and about the 686 area. That would be your next level of support should Friday's low get taken out. In the Russell, you can see that the next level of support is going to be pretty far down, about the 270 area. So that Russell has a lot of work to do to the downside if Friday's low is taken out. And then we'll see how the next counter trend rotation to Friday's decline develops. In terms of overbought and oversold, we're basically neutral. That gives the indices the potential to go higher in a three-step counter trend rotation, as I've discussed, or we could see it go lower and take out Friday's low in tomorrow's trading. In terms of total volume, this is NYSE total volume. You can see volume declined. Net volume declined also. You can see that's in today's trade. A little bump up from Friday's trading, but overall you can see the decline is still in effect. Same thing with the NASDAQ. Net volume lower. And you can see the decline that's going there. A little bit of a bump up in today's trading, but total volume on the NASDAQ was down from Friday's trading as well. One more thing I want to check here. Let's check the percentage of stocks above their 20 and 50-day moving averages. So you can see that there's still a decline above the 20 and 50-day moving average in the S&P 500. In the NASDAQ, you can see a little bit of a bump up, but still pretty negative. Same thing with the 50-day moving average. And the Russell, a little bit of a bump today, but really nothing to speak home about. So really, from what I'm seeing in the rotational pattern that we saw in today's trading, there's really no strength that I can see building in the market internals. So I would suggest potentially that important for especially if you're day trading, to watch what happens between the high of today and the low of today, because that's going to give you a pretty good indication of the next potential greater degree move. And I'm still holding out that this three-step counter trend rotation could be likely, but taking out Friday's low is going to be most important. That would then eliminate that potential for that three-step counter trend rotation. And then, of course, the third and lower possibility is we're going to see a boom tomorrow, and we're going to completely erase all of Friday's trading and go back and test these highs. So 3 possible strategies for tomorrow. Keep them all in mind as the day progresses. And then as the day develops, we'll be able to know which one of those is becoming the higher probability. In my opinion, the highest probability is we're going to take out today's low and take out Friday's low before we see some type of another counter trend rotation higher. Second higher probability would be we're going to see a 3-step counter trend rotation, testing these upper limits where there's equality between legs 1 and 3. And then the third lowest probability would be this is completely done, and we're going to see a move all the way back up to test these highs. Have a great night, and I will pick this back up again tomorrow.